And Dark, you're leading the charge with a certain series that we looked at during the previews and had an had an interesting reaction to. Would you like to tell us what it is?
Ooh, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, this is Debu Love. This is Debu to Love to Ayamachi too. Oh,
Yes, as also known as
Debuto to
plus size
Ayamachi to.
misadventures in love. Yes,
Yeah, let me tell you
Debu to
something.
Love to Ayamachi to, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we're gonna preface this with this series sucks.
What?
Yeah, this is like a series that like before we even get into the synopsis and everything, this is a series that kind of like, and you'll get what I mean later, I guess, is like, it's like behaving as if it should be woke, but it's like actually like kind of deeply offensive and like really annoying and not good at all. But
I'm not gonna say I
you
called
know,
it, but
I mean, we all knew, right? Like I was
called
like,
it.
we were kind of like, I was kind of like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a cold day in hell before like this is handled correctly. Like, there's no way. Um, and you'll know why. This series would actually be not as bad if it kind of just opened up with a happy-go-lucky person. Um, but for some reason, they decided
You
to
know what?
introduce this game. They decided to introduce this series as our main character Yumiko Koda tries to fucking we cold open with her like looking like even more disheveled and uglier in a mirror, and then in the hospital as like, you know, the cute like I don't even know what to describe that design, but with blonde hair and whatnot. um and so she wakes up in the hospital with no memory, with amnesia, and it's because she tried to kill herself, because she was fat and ugly. So of course she tried to kill herself.
Well, deserved, quite clearly.
So
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, pretty much it opens with that, like where she is even like that level of self-loathing.
can I also say, just like I'm going to repeat this sort of thing because I want to open it up for a bigger discussion later. But it's like there seems to be a very the way that like modern series that approach this sort of like fat kind of stuff is like in Japan or in Japanese anime is very weird to me because they're doing this weird thing where they're trying to like Jedi mind trick people into being like, yeah, of course, being fat, you should fucking kill yourself, or like, you know, it's like it's terrible or whatever it is. But and then it's like instead of grappling with that and then like finding a way out or like trying to become healthy or whatever, right? The standard kind of themes around that. Um, it's a lot of like the protagonist sort of accepts this like whole. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, like if I'm fat, I should be ostracized in society, or like I should be looked down upon, or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
very like weird way to put it. Not that I'm like, you know, I'm also one to. I'm biased. I will fat shame as well. But it's like it's different from being like, oh yeah, obviously if you're fat, you should just like get kicked in the face. Like that's very different. You know what I mean? That's sort of
Yeah, I mean,
like
so what this series winds up doing too is it takes this character, like it doesn't really do any of that, so to speak, like from her own perspective after the beginning. It's a lot of like it does a lot less. I don't know. It doesn't really make that core realistically. Like it's just more so that her personality became like so bubbly that it like takes others aback. You know what I mean? Like it like takes others like by surprise. Um, because she was like this downtrodden, like depressed person prior. And there are some characters where it ties in where they like have their own shortcomings that they like loathe about themselves, and there are like some characters that even like didn't like at least it's not like explicitly said that they used her as like a pseudo like punching bag for that, but kind of like used her as like a marker to like make themselves feel better in general. and that causes like some drama, but also some healing in that regard for those characters, because now she's like this positive person that like kind of helps them work through it in a roundabout manner. So like that wasn't like a terrible part of the series, but like again, like the way it's like so sloppily handled in the beginning is like really bad.
Yeah, the initial
But it
premise is like
also makes
again,
like a
they try
lot
to
of it
put on the
like,
it's like very weird.
yeah, it kind of like it still does like treat her as like a joke in a lot of ways. So it's just still, that's why I'm still like, this is not handled like in a decent manner like whatsoever. Um and it also, like I said, like it doesn't actually like have the character like sort of like work through any of those emotions or like work through anything, because it was like, no, this character tried to kill themselves, now they don't have they don't have any memory, and now they're positive, I guess. And it's like, okay, that's like, that's not like, that's not good. Like that's not a good way to handle this like at all. Um but yeah, so the basic like rest of the story is that they they try to like they try to like, introduce Keisuke as like, he's like the, I don't know what his like shortcoming thing is gonna be yet. And by yet I mean I watched like, what was it, like I got through episode 1, then I watched episode 2 at 2x speed, and then I watched episode 3 at 4x speed or 5x speed. Um so you
Okay.
know, we were working a lot here. So the the main like love interest is like the vice president, I think, the company that she works at, and I can't really tell if it's weird, because they're like doing paper pushing and stuff, but then also they're doing like snack R&D at the same time. And I'm like, is this how a company
What?
works at this point? Like, I'm like, I
Okay,
don't think that's
sure.
how I don't think that's how like snack companies work. Like, I don't think you're just like working in an office and the same people like working in the office like pushing papers are also doing like the snack flavor R&D. Like, I don't think that's what they're doing, but that's what they work for, so to speak. Um,
Okay.
and like that stuff is actually not bad. I genuinely think if this series just did not do any of this 180 personality shit and was just like, yeah, it's just like a rom-com with like a fat girl and she does like snack R&D at a company and falls in love with the VP, and it's like a goofy little series with that, I think that actually would have been a more fun series, just because it's like there's so much baggage with that like initial premise and like going back to this, and it's like handled so like haphazardly that it's just like, yeah, this is like kind of insane. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, I think like, I don't know. I think the complexes and the worry stuff also could be done better if like, again, the end of the series was more serious. Um, but it's like not serious enough. And also, like I said, it's like trying to do this like shoujo comedy romance bullshit too on top of it, that it's just like, I don't know, like none of this really jives together. I was
so what
telling
is
Nier
first?
where
It
like,
has that rom com. It has that rom com kind of thing. But what is the what is the core of this series? Is it like a kind of every time it's like an episodic like talking to people kind of series?
yeah, it seems like it's like a work life thing, and it's just gonna be like going through like the different people in the
But
company,
it's
and
not
like
like an
and
office
her
like
like
Robin Hood
working
Edward
them.
style. It's more of like a yeah. It's like
I think
it's
it's
more
gonna
just
be
her
like
talking to people,
characters at
right?
a time. I think it's gonna be like
Uh-huh.
character of the week or whatever that works through like their own complex, right? Because like the pink haired girl has like a inferiority complex, right? And that's why she
Right,
used like
right.
Yumiko as like a, not a punching bag, but like sort of like, now that she's at 180, she like hates herself even more, because she's like, wow, this person who like I thought so low of now is like this bubbly person who's like proactive, and I can't even like compare to that. Um and then like, you know, in their episode together, they like come up with they work on like a presentation together and like come up with a snack thing together. And initially like their pitch fails, um but only like it like their pitch fails, but like they're like, oh, like it failed, but like you guys are like kind of onto something. And then like the pink haired girl is like, oh, like this sucks, like this like we failed, like we fucked up. But Yumiko is like, oh, okay, like this is great, that means that we're actually like we're making progress, like we're coming close to like, the next time we pitch this we can make it even better and like get this like product off the ground effectively. And like that type of stuff, like that type of stuff I think is fine. um but again, it's like sandwiched in this whole like mess of like comedy, rom-com, and like also not really leaving complexes sort of like the breathing room they need. And it's also playing it very
the issue
fast too, because like that shit's resolved in one episode, right? Like,
also the issue I have from listening to this is that it's one thing to do. It's one thing if the problem is, hey, they're doing a lot of stuff and they're kind of fumbling the ball, but it also feels like they're not actually doing any of this stuff well either. And it's not an issue
no,
of
it's
typing
not. Like, it's
websites.
really
It's just like they're
not.
just bad at like.
I mean, like, this would be fine if they're like trying to just do like standard workplace shit. But again, they try and do like the complexes stuff like roped into it, and it's like you kind of can't really give like one episode to just handle this. Because I was telling Near, it turns into like some pseudo bootstrap style like attempt at like therapy type shit, where it's like, yeah, dude, the problem with people who are like either have like body dysmorphia and want to fucking kill themselves is not that like they just need a new perspective. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, why don't you just look at things the other way? Like, why don't you
Just get
look on
that
the bright
diet up.
side?
Just get that diet up,
Look on
bro.
the bright, not even that. No, not even that. Just look on the bright side. Why don't you just do that? Why don't you just try being positive? It's like how that's not how this works. Like,
Yeah.
um so yeah, and that's like super sloppy. It's like just not enjoyable to me at all. Like it feels slimy. Um yeah.
Not
Yeah.
much else to
And
say.
so yeah, so the other thing I want to get into too is that this is being done by this is a manga original, by the way, but this is also being done by Studio Marvy Jack. And I don't know if Marvy
Okay.
Jack has really done lead on anything before this. Because like they were a major support studio for like Dean and for like fucking what do you call it? The original Spice and Wolf, like Brains Base and stuff. Like they
Oh,
were doing
really?
like main support. Yeah, they were doing like main supports for that stuff.
Mhm.
I'm looking through right now to see if they have like anything. Okay, so the only other series that they were a main on was this series called when was this from? This was a Netflix ONA. Amyoji. Um so that's interesting. I have not seen this. This is not an OVA, rather. This is an ONA, which I feel like it lost its meaning
Oh,
anyway, because it's just a 13 episode full series. So I mean, I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
like
yeah.
technically it's an ONA, but it's on
Well, there
Netflix. So
are
like,
series out there that
is
have
it an
on it.
ONA if it's a fucking Netflix series? Like, come on now, like
Yeah.
I
whatever.
mean, in terms of raw classification, yeah, because it's outside of the seasonal
I
Yeah, it's
guess,
just very
yeah.
rare.
schedule.
It's just
But yeah, so that's gotten like decent reviews. That the audio visuals for that, um, from like skimming it, it seems like okay enough. The audio visuals here are decent. They're like pretty fine. I will say the weird thing that I noticed, and this I don't know if it was just because this way I don't make a habit of watching anime at 5x speed. But when watching it at 5x speed, it seemed like there was like weird blending going on that I was like, I don't know if this is like AI touched or something. How
Oh, really?
smooth
Oh,
things
no.
were. Because things were like
Right.
really smooth. And I was like, this doesn't look right. And like character mouths did not look correct. And again, like I said, just like some of the smoothness of some of the animation, I was like, this does not look, this looks weird. Like this looks off. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it's just some weird blending thing. I don't know if it's like AI in between shit too. I'd have to see. But it would be odd. I haven't really like heard anything about that, but
Mhm.
that's I guess the only other comment I could have with the audio visuals that they're like kind of whatever. Um I mean the voice cast is like weird too because it's like kind of killer, kind of stand out, but they're also kind of phoning it in, I feel. Except for I don't know, like Aya Endo is like doing what you would expect for a character like this. Um Hida Yuma is doing what you would expect for a character like that. Uh, Sugita genuinely sounds like he's falling asleep when he's delivering his lines. um, I don't know if it was because like he was directed to be a more like subdued emotional kind of guy, but he just kind of sounds a little sleepy when he's talking,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
or as if he's
It's like
doing
it's similar to when he's trying to do like that
Sugita
cool black
ASMR.
person voice. Yeah, he because he has that other kind of like ikemen kind of level voice where he usually, and I don't think this is very surprising to people who have been following him, but it's like he often does like when he does like younger voices, especially these days when he's like a little bit older, he does like the ikemen cool guy with like glasses, the glasses guy, the
Yeah.
glasses nerd kind of voice. So it's like that sort of the thing.
Yeah, this guy
Yeah.
just kind of sounds like he's on ketamine. But yeah, so like I don't know, like again, you got a star-studded cast that's like really not doing a whole lot anyway, so it's like very weird.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I
not
guess.
whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't really like even like the premise aside, it just doesn't really measure up properly. Is what you're saying?
I mean, I wouldn't even say like the premise aside, like I would say the premise is kind of a big issue here. The premise is a huge issue. If we didn't have this premise and it was just that workplace thing, I feel like it would be fine. Like I'd still probably give it like a 5, but with this premise, it's like this is devastatingly bad, and I'm gonna come in with probably one of my lowest ratings in a while. This might be like a 2. Might be like a 1 or
Dang.
a 2, to be honest. I mean, it's hard,
uh,
right? It's hard to say. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, like here's the thing, right? Like if I was using something like a Fantano scale, like I would give this series like a not good. Like I would kind of like disqualify this series, like because it's not even like I feel like giving it a rating because it's not like it's so bad that it deserves a 0 or like it's so bad like I can't even it's like so bad I can't rate it, but it's like it just doesn't even feel like this is something that should be given a rating. It would just be like it's not good and you should just like not watch it.
Jesus. Anyways, thank you very much, Dark. I know this was a series that we knew probably was going to be in the gutters, but I'm glad
Yeah.
that you
Oh,
helped
I'd
cover
say
it anyway.
the only one of the I think the only redeeming thing is there's like a kind of a cute ED. The OP
Mhm.
is atrocious. I'm not we're not even gonna get into that. If you want, like just look it up. If you want to see it, you'll know within the first 3 seconds as to why I'm like, yeah, this kind of like encapsulates the whole series of like, fuck this, like fuck this series, like whatever.
It
Yeah.
would be better if the thing that happened in the beginning that was not part of it, and she was like that from the get-go, like you said, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Then it would be a better
Like this
series.
was
Yeah,
just if this was
I
just a
agree.
series about like a
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky character and stuff like that, and wasn't trying to like wasn't like going as hard to be like, we're gonna deal with complexes, but then was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna speed run them.
Very bad at doing it.
Like we're
Yeah.
gonna speed run these motherfuckers, and really you like actually like have like no genuineness to this. Like, yeah.
Like they obviously didn't do any research. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's like if you're gonna do a series like this series needs to be done by like fucking what's her name and be like a 24 episode series. Of
Okada Marie is
yeah, literally. Like it would have to be like an Okada Marie series, like 24 to 48 episodes long. Like she's just given the like as much time as she fucking needs to write out like characters and have like fuck 6 episode arcs of characters trying to work through something. Yeah, you can't be doing this. Or again,
yeah.
you drop that aspect of it and you just make it a super positive, like even if you want to make it like a body positivity series about like a bubbly person in an office setting, right? Because you could pretty much all of this without having the other characters have complex or deal with complexes at all. You could just have it taken for granted that the person doesn't have complexes, and it could be a much simpler sort of team building series that inadvertently is like body positive in that manner, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that again, it's like I 100% agree with you, and I've said this before as well, right? When I was reviewing not similar series, but a series that dealt with more complex, again, complexes or psychological kind of deals, right? Where you need more time because you need to kind of let it organically pace itself out. Because a lot of times, stuff like emotional trauma, talking about these things takes a while for a regular human being. So it should be the case that in an anime, if you want to make it more realistic, if you want to make people empathize with the characters, they also deal with it in a slower pace. And it's not just like, oh, yeah, I just have a different perspective on it now. Like, that's not, it's a very sophomoric way
It's
to do
like
things.
it's like all these characters like within an episode experiencing like peak ego death. Like it's not like, okay, sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, again, very unfortunate that it kind of turned out as bad as this did, but not that surprising, to be fair. So, thank you very much, Dark. Again, this was Debu to Rabuto Ayamachi to, also known as Plus Size Misadventures in Love, manga original. This was done by Marvy Jack, which assisted in a couple other famous series. Again,
Yeah, I
I
will
probably
say if there's nothing weird going on with the in-betweens and stuff like that, and that was just literally a result of like just one how the show looks like, and two just like me speeding it up too much. But you know, I hope they get better stuff because I think that they come onto the scene as like a pretty good series, a pretty good studio. And I think if they also do like big shoujo stuff, I think they could do a shoujo series some justice. Um,
yeah.
if these are the audio visuals they put out for something like this.